So jerky has become a quintessential road trip snack. It's also high in protein, so a lot of gym junkies kind of go to it as a quick sauce that will last in their bags all day. I am lucky enough to have hunter friends who ethically hunt and give me some venison to make my jerky, but most of these recipes will be reliant on beef because not many people get their hands on venison. I just like the taste of venison because I've become quite accustomed to it. If you go to the link below to the recipe, you'll be able to find multiple other recipes for jerky that I have come up with or I have worked out and tweaked, and I'll add the links to other pan people if I've used their recipe and tweaked theirs to make it to my liking. Now I'm going to cut up the beef and I'll show you how to do that now. So I'm going to have a quick break before I actually start. Check my recipe for more information. I brush over a lot of stuff really quickly. I will make a more in-depth one, more in-depth video in the future with different techniques and different ways of making jerky. So this is just a basic one on how to do it on Dehydrator, whereas I might teach you how to make biltong or with the oven or different types of cuts or different types of meats. So keep an eye out and I'll be releasing those soon. So I'm going to come down here before I start cutting. If you are a vegetarian, vegan, please turn away. It's not the most pleasant thing to look at if you're not a fan of looking at meat. You can always do this recipe with fruit and vegetables to make fruit jerky and leather, but this is an all red meat recipe right now. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time cutting off the fat. You do not want fat in your jerky because it does go a little rancid, because it does never really kind of dehydrate properly. Unless you eat it quickly afterwards, it's best to like cut it all off, or best to your ability. As this is a wild hunted deer piece of meat, there's going to be a little more fat and it's more fresh. So I've cut off quite a bit of the fat on this thing, but I want to show you something. When you cut the smaller pieces, so we'll be doing that after, you want to go with the flesh, with the thing, a muscle. Not against it, because then you end up with like really, really tough jerky, but with it to make it more better. There is a lot of fat in this, so we'll cut this out, but you can see that. So I have cut a bit to give an example of the size that you're after. Any more thick than this, it'll be a little hard to like dry out, but this is about the good size. I do have a dehydrator, so it does make this a lot easier. So if you don't have a dehydrator, you're going to be putting it in the oven on multiple trays at a slow heat, but this is fine. So with this, I'm slicing what I can. They're all going to be the same size, but you want them same thickness, just because that'll make it a lot easier. If you don't make them same thickness, that's when you're going to start having trouble, because you'll have some over drying, some under drying, and you'll sit there like, well, what have I done wrong? And that's generally what you've done wrong. So the spices that you'll need in this recipe are 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of golden syrup, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of crushed garlic, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of powdered coriander, and 1/4 cup of water. You may not need all that water, it helps just like thin out the sauce, but it's about right most of the time. So let's go put it in. So I've put it into a bowl and then we'll move along with that. As we've worked out, I don't like pre-prepping containers. I prefer to show you me do it as I go. So we've got the 1/4 cup of soy sauce, which is delightful. We're going to go with the dry ingredients first, and then the garlic, and then the golden syrup. So with the salt, we needed 2 tablespoons. So a tablespoon seems quite large, but it works. That's going to help dry it out. If you try this for the first time and you think it's a little too salty, back away from like as much salt as you're putting in, and it should be fine. With the onion powder, we needed just 1 tablespoon. Put that away. With the coriander, we needed, what did we need, guys? It was 1, 2 of that. With the pepper, it was 1 teaspoon. Where's my teaspoon? Ooh, come on, buddy. Bad thing about these little things. There we go. And then, with the crushed garlic, I wanted 1 tablespoon. I love myself some crushed garlic, so I just put like a little bit extra. Maybe like a little bit. It really depends how much garlic you like. I would, if I felt like it, I'd be constantly going boo, boo, boo. But not today. I'm going to clean off this because cross-contamination for the golden syrup that I'm about to take out. Golden syrup is really hard to get out, so I'll wash this and be right back. So we need 1, 2. I call this my sticky soy jerky because it's sweet, it's salty, it's garlicky. It's kind of perfect, or at least I think so anyway. So I actually find getting your hand in there and getting it right in and massaging it into it. Because we are leaving this over for 12 hours. It does need to soak for 12 hours. So you're okay with doing anything. So massage it in, it'll help tender up the meat, and then leave it overnight, and it should be. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this and then put it in the fridge for 12 hours, and then start layering it. And so tomorrow, we'll put it in the slow cooker? No, the dehydrator, and then we'll go from there. So my meat has been soaking for 12 hours. I'm gonna put all the meat on the trays, and then not too close so it stops the airflow, but close enough that it's probably like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And then I'm going to put this out of the way and leave it there on for up to 12 hours, maybe a bit more depending how thick you've cut the meat. You'll just have to check it every once in a while. But this is my machine, the dehydrator that I have purchased. I quite like it. I used to have one of the ones that are round and plastic, so you have to keep switching around the plates. But this one, you don't actually have to, which saves so much time and effort, so you can leave this alone and walk away from this, where the other one, you can't walk away from it. You kind of have to come back every couple of hours and then change the bottom to the top and keep going like that until it's all done. Okay, so now all of these are full. As you can see, I've like nicely decorated the trays with the meat. I'm gonna close the door, put it in a place away from everything else where heat doesn't really matter, because my kitchen's quite small. I'll be putting it in the laundry, the laundry cupboard, because the heat can be absorbed in there well if I chuck on the air fan. But that should be fine now. Right. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I've chucked it on for 12 hours at 90 degrees. They are quite thick bits, so that should sit there for a while. So now it's next day and we have our jerky. I recommend after the first hour, turn it down to 80 degrees, and then after 5 hours, check it every hour, just depending how thick your meat is and how you've cut it, just because you don't want to overcook it and then make it into crispy, dry jerky, which really kind of is disappointing. If you like this video, please subscribe, follow, and like all of my social medias. It always helps. Thank you guys. Bye. I'm just gonna